Yes, let us know what you offer, what services you offer, and how people can find you.
Thank you. Well, the most direct way to find me is through my website, which is oversoullight.org. I'm also in social media, Facebook and Instagram, Oversoullight. That's the name I go for. And what I offer is one-on-one private sessions. I offer group transmissions through Rainbow Bridge Portal. This is my monthly transmission space. I'm a trance channel, so what you have been experiencing today is not my only service. I have a school of ascension where we focus on activating divine genome and activation of psychic awareness, multidimensional DNA. And I offer business mission alignment. This is where we go deeper into mission grids, and I channel and trans channel different pathways how mission can be expressed through business, through service. So not only activating the gifts, but aligning either already established corporation business with the blueprint that God, that source has intended for it to be expressed as. So there are many different offerings that I facilitate. Please feel free to explore if you are feeling called. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Oh, first of all, it's wonderful to meet you, and I love your name. Both names, Polina. What does Polina mean?
It's just my name. This is the way my parents called me. It's shorter for Apollinaria, which is in Greek, I believe, has to do with solar frequency, and I work with Ra. But my father has named me Maria. So for the first 4 days of my existence in this form, I was Maria, which is love. And then I got renamed into Paulina.
I think into the frequencies, which I think is very beautiful. It was a lovely, really beautiful presentation. I loved also being anchored. And again, being reminded that it's time for us to each take our part in the awakening here. So thank you so much. Next time, make sure you do reach out and let someone know about your schedule if you're that far away. And it's just, thank you so much from everyone.
Thank you.
All right. Up. I did it again. Wait.
I'll do it.
No. Here we go. All right. I've had many Mercury moments this past week that have been just too bizarre to explain, like showing up on Zoom calls a week early, forgetting the time of my own presentation, having it anchored in a new way. So Mercury retrograde's almost coming to an end. So I'm so happy to see all of you. This is great. Every speaker is adding and weaving into this alchemy of really embodying. It's not enough just to know you're a starseed. It's how do we start to embody it? So we have 2 speakers left. We have Hillis, who I know many of you know. Some of you have hopped on just for this, I think. And then I'm after him, and I have a wonderful presentation on your starseed mission, how to activate it, how to know what it is, know your purpose, and really come forward and step into your leadership in a powerful way. So we're going to start with Hillis, and I adore Hillis. You'll see I really like him. I've known him for a long time. Loved his presentations. He's a rare Syrian Lemurian lineage teacher. He's an omni-resonance architect who empowers souls through his innate gifts. And as an author, teacher, speaker, he designs pathways for profound connection, gently guiding individuals on their sacred journey. Through insightful mentorship, Hillis helps you perceive beyond the physical veil and cultivate profound resonance with your soul essence. As a light transmitter, he masterfully utilizes the potent energies of psychic mediumship, Reiki, and Lemurian light to harmonize your energetic blueprint. His heartfelt intention is to illuminate your path, assuring you of your eternal connection. And as an omni-resonance architect, Hillis delves with you into your inner cosmos, fostering shared universal harmony, and allowing your audience essence to radiate outwardly in perfect alignment. Okay, I should be able to get him up there. Wait, this is ridiculous.
I am like super well lit. Is it me or is it just I don't know. I'm like washed
I've been
out a
out of
little.
my body. Can't you tell everyone? I couldn't even find the right way to get myself back on. It's been it's been a little high end. So it's nice to
It's
see
totally
you.
fine. It's totally fine. Wow.
Yeah, it's very nice to
I
see you,
look like
Helen.
I look ghostly almost. Like I'm a
Well,
well,
you
no. I look
do.
illuminated.
Okay, well, next time I suggest a little background because your shirt should have you pop out, but the back is a little light. But then the
Well, I mean, I use this platform all the time, and so I don't know. I like being illuminated.
I love having you illuminated. I see golden rays all around you. So you have your presentation for us?
I am going to do a transmission for everyone today. It's going to be a little bit of history with a special transmission because I received additional wisdom the other day as I was moved into a new frequency. And this is going to be very interesting because you know how we move through these evolutions, how we move through these shifts, how we move through this energy. There's always this space of recognition, the space of remembrance. And that's what today is about. It's more so letting go. And I loved Paulina, what she talked about previously about letting go, about letting go of the preconceived notions that we're tied to. It's much more than that. It's much more than what we identify with as a star seed, because that's just the beginning. No, well, no, that was the middle. The beginning is the beginning. We're in the middle of this great transformation that we're on right now.
Well, okay. I'm going to let you take it away. Just really glad you're here.
Me too. Good day, everyone. Good day, beautiful souls, beautiful beings. As we are in this presence of this great shift, as a collective, we are in the middle of this transformation. We are sitting in fourth density. And for those who do not understand what fourth density is, it is this way station. It is this way station for us to be free from what we're holding on to, free from the old preconceived notions of third density mindset. And in fourth density, you are being asked to let go of what no longer serves you in this reality, to let go of old thoughts, patterns, behaviors, beliefs, any at all that do not serve you as you allow yourself to feel lighter, literally and figuratively, to allow you to feel the lightness of your being, to begin to understand and make room for the comprehension of self that you are but a fractal of source energy. And what does this mean? This being a fractal? It means that you are not a fragment. It means that you are not separate from source energy, that you are source energy, that you have chosen to forget. You have chosen to forget who you were at a soul level. You have chosen these things to have this grand experience on this planet and on other planets and lifetimes before and energies before, embodiments before. It has enabled you to now begin to remember who you are at a soul level. Granted be that you identify with being a Syrian such as I, or Arcturian such as I, Palladian such as I, Andromedan such as I. All these starseed beings that we choose to identify with to trigger the remembrance of home, the remembrance of who we are, the remembrance of what we truly identify with. But this is just a tip of the iceberg, dear ones. This is just a mere nugget of knowledge, of remembrance. And for those who identify with starseed beings, with the beings of Syrian light, it is no comprehension, no coincidence. It's no mere coincidence that the Syrians and the Syrian energy of our central sun is filled with this planet, filled with this light, as we are related, connected to this divine energy, as they were the first to see this planet through the energy of Lemuria, through the energy of Mu, whichever term you choose. And with this beginning, it created so much more. And this beginning of choosing to find a space, to find salvation, to find peace after the great wars, to start a life in fifth density, which we have been trying to go back to for millennia. Now we're finally here at the precipice of this way station to have something new. And this memory of this time, of this fifth density energy, lives in the tools that you already have, the crystals and so forth. It lives in the memory of the Dogon tribe and how the Syrians have connected specifically with this. It lives in the memories of Egypt and how Egypt has literally worshipped this space and energy. Hence, the dog days of summer, the dog star. And Syrian is actually making its return after the summer back to Egypt. It's making its return. I believe it is on August 12th. This year you can begin to see Sirius A, B, and maybe C if we're lucky. In the stars, in the skies, and all of this energy. But that doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you identify with or as. It just matters that you identify with yourself and your soul. This, dear ones, is the true starseed. Self-identification, self-knowing, self-remembrance, self-activation. And yes, there are people like me to assist in this space of remembrance, in the space of knowing, in the space of activation. But it is you that is in charge. It is you that is the master of this space and this reality to allow for this great remembrance. All these stories of Lemuria and Atlantis and Egypt, they are all markers for us to follow the path home. They are all markers for us to understand our history, our interactions, our own life, our own lifetimes. It is in this space where we truly begin to remember. But what is it that you wish to remember? Let me take you on a journey. So wherever you are, just allow yourself to take a nice big deep breath. And as you exhale, allow your body to relax, to ground and connect to earth energy, to the ley lines, to the dragon lines, to the history of this planet and beyond, to connect to what you are, to connect to beyond your thoughts, your field and frequency, to move beyond these preconceived notions of self-identification and laying claim to a race, laying claim to an extraterrestrial that existed long before this body was even made. but you are much older. You are much, much older. You're as old as this planet. You are as old as this galaxy. You are as old as the beginning of time. And just allow yourself to feel the grandness of this energy. With every breath, you allow yourself to be open. With every breath, you allow for a broader connection to self. As we ascend through the clouds and the stars of this planet, the school of Earth, the space of remembrance, the space that is catalytic to who we are. And there will be moments of silence throughout this transmission to give time and space for this integration of knowing who you are. And as we move beyond this galaxy, past Pluto, all the way back to the center of our grand central sun, this big blue star in the sky.
Hey. Hi, everyone. I don't quite know what happened to Hillis, but most likely he's going to be back. I could say he went into the etheric realms, the starseed realms. So hopefully he's going to be back in a minute. Let's tune in today now while we're waiting for him to come back, tuning into, again, where's your energy? And tell me what is standing out to you about this event. You know, what have you learned about starseeds, your starseed awakening? So I want to keep you all motivated and excited until Hillis finds his way and descends back into the 3D, coming into, hopefully, StreamYard. We're going to give him a couple of minutes. If he doesn't show up, then we'll just move on to my presentation. But, you know, I could probably, most likely, text him. So that's what I'm going to do, everyone. I'm going to just give him text, take a bathroom break while I'm looking for him. Hillis. Let's see what happened to him. Okay. No answer there. He's got another phone. Let's see. Okay. No Hillis. But he's only been off for a minute or two. What shall I do? Guess we're going to start. I'm going to get my presentation out and ready. Stay prepared. You're going to like this. Yeah, I don't hear Hillis, but if he comes, then I'll stop. I have been loving this event, and I've been on the Starseed event on and off for years, and everyone is different. This one was so empowering into how to take care of ourselves and what to actually do, the steps, and what does it mean. So I want to introduce myself. I'm Joan of Angels, also known as Dr. Joan Hangarter, as I've spent the last 45 years as a chiropractor, a healer, a teacher, an Indian chief, a soul vision mentor, helping people step into their power. Well, healing people as a chiropractor, but helping them step into their power, help them start to remember their purpose and actually really embody it and see it into fruition. Allowing people who have felt stuck for a long time, realizing that there's something more for them to step into it. And so when we have a spiritual awakening, it sometimes starts pretty traumatically because it may tell us, oh my God, you know, what you're doing, your relationships, your work, your home, all of that it becomes suddenly subject to reevaluation. And so, and over the years that I have worked with women, particularly nowadays, I work with spiritual women who really want to make this shift. And I call it the Soul Vision Blueprint. So I help you understand what your Soul Vision Blueprint is, what it means, how to activate it, and how to step into it. So that's what I do. And I've also worked with Neil, I guess I should mention, on and off for many years. We met in 2012. And slowly but steadily, he and at that time his wife used to visit me, and I was his oracle. I was actually his sort of, I can't call it coach, I was really his oracle. And that developed into creating events with him. He mentioned about being a year and a half ahead with his events. It was a crazy time diving in and creating a year's worth of events at a time, or a year and a half's worth of events. And so I have to compliment him on that. I've been the executive producer of Portal to Ascension and the executive producer of New Living Expo. And if any of you live on the West Coast, the New Living Expo was the best. I've been to so many events over the years, but I could say this was the best because it was a gathering of our extended star family, so many of our speakers present and our vendors and collaborators over the centuries. And over the centuries is because sometimes I think of Portal to Ascension and my work with Portal to Ascension as being part of a mystery school. So that's about me. So I want to begin my talk because it's clear Hillis isn't coming back. I'm sorry. I love him. I could tell some of you loved his presentation. He is an illuminated soul. He's an ascended master, a shamanic ascended master. All right. But my question to you is, why did your soul choose to be here on Earth, particularly at this time? And so I put it in the chat because it's a really valid question. Why did your soul choose to be here now? Some of the speakers have actually answered that question today by talking about how important it is. Something that I think it was Deanna said. Was it Deanna? I don't want to get all my speakers confused. The thread. And I'm a thread, you're a thread, we're all threads, and we're weaving together the story. We're weaving together the timeline. We're weaving together the new future. And I think one of the other things that was so powerful to me is a reminder that those of us on this broadcast today are stepping into a higher dimensional frequency, which involves being connected to our higher self, our guides, our innate intelligence. Whereas the other track is the material, we're referring to as the material world. It's the 3D world. And more as we awaken, and events like this awaken us, we will step into that. So put it in the chat. Why did you choose to be here this time? Oh, and that's so cute. Okay. I love it. So happy to see you, Tamara. I almost wore your angel necklace today. That's so funny. I was looking at it and almost put it on. And I love you dearly. All right. So as we continue on, why this lifetime? Why not 100 years ago or 100 years in the future, rather? Why today? So what is this moment for all of us in this time of humanity? It is because we are here at the point of this timeline switching. So we are here at that exact moment, and each of you is a thread. Each of you, I like to call us instruments. Like if we see planet Earth as, or if we see Gaia as an orchestra, each of us is an instrument. And when we are harmonized, all of us together, then the song that Earth will sing, Gaia will sing in her utmost harmony and launch us into that ascension timeline. And so when one of us is out of alignment or out of tune, you've heard an orchestra playing and you could hear that one note that is out of alignment. So that one out of tune note can disrupt many things. And so our job as starseeds is really to awaken to that and start to step into that power and that leadership that we hold. So you all may be awake, but then the next step is, do you remember? Do you remember why you came? Do you remember some of the lifetimes that are important? Do you remember what you agreed to when you came down here? And do you remember what gifts you actually have? Have you awoken them? Because all of us come down here, all of us who are the volunteers who have come down specifically in an answer to that call that Earth is in trouble, have skills that we have, that we came down because we definitely were not sent here unprotected. We had to actually show our own mastery to be even allowed to come down in this journey. So I want all of you to kind of pat yourself on the shoulder that you have actually been able to come down here, to come down into the physical on Earth, this time in the most pivotal times when we are actually going through that ascension process and waking people up. And what does that also mean? It also means it's the end of what was. It's the end of, I don't want to call it the old age, it's the end of what was, and we're stepping into the new. And the new isn't so new for many of us. The new is alignment with the earth. The new is, like growing your own food. The new is standing out under the trees and talking to the trees and communicating to them. So the new earth contains so much of what we're all about. The foods, healthy foods, high frequency music, high frequency clothing and jewelry that elevates your frequency. So we are actually in this new because so many of you are already stepping into that, understanding that your resonance is determined on all of those frequencies, all of those vibrations. So your soul is attempting to take its place on Mother Earth so that we can be part of this process. And in the process, it is requiring you to remember to step into your own power, as I call it, your leadership, and turn around and start helping others who are behind you to get there. So we haven't really, no one defined what a starseed is today, so I will. A starseed is someone whose consciousness has originated, developed, or served in realms beyond Earth. And it's not just the extraterrestrial realms, the higher frequency realms, it's the celestial realms, the ascended master realms, all of those higher dimensions where souls like us came into a human form and have had to learn, number one, who we are and wake up to that, to the fact that we're not just purely human, that we have energetics, that we have DNA that's not purely from this planet, because we have in our soul frequency, the frequency of the stars or the frequency of the angelics. So how do you know you're a starseed? Well, you'll feel different at a very early age. You may experience a longing for home without even knowing where it is. It's like you're always homesick. All those pictures of the little kids looking up at the stars going, I don't belong here. I don't belong here. I don't know about you, but I never belonged here. They you may feel differently and deeply affected by violence, by dishonesty. Like, I look at the news and I can hardly believe that people actually live at that lower frequency. It's very hard for me to understand that. So they may also be highly intuitive, having many of the clair gifts, like clairsentience, clairaudience, clairvoyance, clairgustation, smell. So, in fact, in the chat, if you can remember what gifts you have, put them in, because those are your superpowers. So some of you might remember past lives, other worlds, other dimensions, other lifetimes, and all of that is part of what has brought you in this life to master all of your unfinished business, as well as becoming that being of light that is here to help light up the world as part of the soul orchestra of Mother Earth. There, I said it. I was able to put it in. So if your mantra is, I came here to help, you are definitely a starseed. All right? You may be creative, different, sensitive. The sensitivity to energy is very important. Many light workers and starseeds go into the supermarket or the mall, and they feel almost attacked energetically or drained pretty quickly. So making sure that we keep up, raise our frequency. And this morning I talked about your wings. So let's just do a brief review. If you weren't there, just bring your wings back. We're just going to do a quick little activation. Bring your wings back. Imagine your angels behind you, gently cleaning, waxing, oiling, stretching them out. They've been in hiding for lifetimes because of all those times that you might have been unalived because of how powerful you are. Because those on the planet are afraid of people like us who have these gifts, who have these powers, who understand the programs that they try to run on us. So as you lift your wings and as you bring them out, let me know in the chat what color they are and how big they are. I think one of our speakers told us she had a rainbow wings. I have luminescent pearly white. And they're pretty big today because I feel, I'm on stage and I'm feeling so excited to keep working with you. All right. I miss you too, sweeties. It's so good to be here on the Portal to Ascension show. So what I want you to think about now is that what did you come here to do? Did you come here to create? Did you come here to sing? Did you come here to talk? Did you come here to mother? Did you come here to nurture? Did you come here as a warrior? Okay, we have Hillis right here. Hold on. Hillis. Hello? Hillis?
Yes, I had no idea that I stopped.
Oh, no, I tried to call you, love. You're on speakerphone.
Oh.
You're on speakerphone right now because I started to pick up. Do you want to hop back on?
No, I am on. My computer is completely frozen.
Well, can't you restart your computer?
Yeah, it'll take me a few minutes. I can hop on, take me a few minutes. Yeah.
Good. I'll continue my presentation. You hop on. They'll get the best of both of us, okay?
Okay.
All right. Beautiful. All right. That's full transparency. No point, not keeping you in it. So how come we don't remember? Because here's the paradox. If we came here with a mission, why is it so difficult to remember? Some of you are lucky and you remembered right away, but some of us, like me, I was 28. I was actually 25, but I always thought that I was going to die by 28 because I didn't know what my mission is. And then one day I went to a workshop and I said, what am I here to do? And I heard a voice that said, go to chiropractic school. And that ended up being my mission. But I actually had to access it from my guides. And that's why it's so important that we start accessing these memories and start accessing that. So why, if we came here with this mission, is it so difficult to remember? It would be nice if you were born and then they handed you your clipboard just as soon as you were ready. And they said, these are the skills you have. This is the mission. Your assignment is over there. Go to California, Alabama, wherever. This is where we're putting you. These are the people you're going to meet. So it would be nice if they gave you the script. Our soul blueprint carries that script. Your job is to start accessing it. So when we come down, we have issues with, we have our memories automatically erased, although some people start to wake up much earlier. So I came in with a huge veil of forgetfulness, had no idea who I was. I was extremely shy. As I tell everyone, I hid in closets. But when I was 9 years old, I came home from a physics class, I guess it was third grade, and in physics that day, the teacher had been very emphatic that energy is neither, energy is not lost. It's neither something or destroyed. I don't remember. This is a long time ago. But what that made me think of is, I have energy in my body, and that means that I couldn't have come from nothing, so I must have been here before. And this was at 10. And so this was really profound. I sat on my bed and I actually started trying to meditate. And I tried to go back into my mother's tummy and then see if I can get out and go back that way. Well, I wasn't successful at the time, but that was really the beginning of my realization that there's something more, that we just didn't come out of thin air, out of nothing. We're not created or destroyed. And the truth is, the soul is not created or destroyed. It is eternal. So I found that very, very happy. But we do come down not remembering our connection to source often. All right. So what happens? We spend a lot of times trying to remember what we're not remembering, but we know that there's something. And then it's hard to figure out exactly what you're here to do. But imagine what it would be like if you came down and you did remember every lifetime, every civilization. And I know there's people on here who can do that. It would be impossible to live the life if you could see all of it in front of you. So you're given bits and pieces at a time when it's your time. So the veil allows us to enter this experience fully. It allows us to make choices, and it creates conditions for free will. So it gives us the opportunity to really rediscover ourselves and what our gifts are. But of course, it also creates a challenge of being human. The most important thing that I feel is starting to learn how to connect with your guides and starting to learn how to hear, to listen, and to trust the messages that you are receiving. So in learning how to trust your intuition, because I hear this a lot from people, that I don't know how to trust my intuition. So they waver, they go back and forth, or they panic, or their intuition tells them to go to the left, but everyone else is saying go to the right. And so suddenly they feel like maybe I should go to the right instead of the left. And so intuition is something that you can learn by trial and error. I'll give you an example. I learned years ago that I started to track my intuition. And that started one day when I had just filed my tax returns, and I left the accountant's office. They're in my arm. I'm driving a rental car. I go to open up the trunk, and I hear a voice that says, "Don't put your returns. Don't put it in the car." So I literally shout out loud, "Why?" And the voice says, "Because the trunk will open and they'll fly out." The voice didn't actually say it that way. That was the sense that could happen. And I said, that is ridiculous. And just to prove them wrong, I put the tax returns in the trunk. Of course, you already know the end of the story. I stopped at the stoplight. I was in very busy traffic, almost like a freeway. I couldn't get out of the car without killing myself. And I couldn't even find a way to stop except blocks and blocks down, off, and it was way too late. 2 days later, I got a phone call from a guy who said he's from the LA Public Works Department, and he read off to me my daughter's Social Security number. So that was the beginning of my understanding that I needed to start listening. I had heard that voice before, and I had listened. That's how I became a chiropractor. The voice told me to go to chiropractic school, but I wasn't trusting it. So I began a journal, and this is what I tell all of my clients. You begin a journal. When did I listen to my intuition, and what were the results? When didn't I listen to my intuition, and what were the results? So the time I listened to my intuition was the time I was to take my kids to Disneyland. I woke up, I was told not to go. My kids screamed at me and freaked out. And I thought it was the craziest thing. I could not believe they were telling me not to go, all right? At a house full of kids, we're on our way to Disneyland. But I had promised myself I would trust my intuition. And I tell you these stories because trusting our gut is really hard at first until you know. So anyway, my kids every hour, were nagging me. I had to make them their best dish, do things to entertain them. And then at 2:00 the afternoon, I received the answer as to why they told me not to go. It was severe rain outside, and I went outside. I heard a crash, and I went outside, and my retaining wall was coming down. My retaining wall held the house up above me over here. It held it up. So if the hill came, the house would have crashed down into the pool. So I'm looking at this mud coming down, and thank God I was there because I was able to call my gardener, and he got his crew. And for 2 days, it took them to get that retaining wall up. Fortunately, it didn't collapse. The hillside did not come down. And that was a time I had listened to my intuition. So listening to your intuition can be life-saving. It could, help you get out of poor financial decisions. It can help you choose the right partner, the right direction, the right timing, divine right timing. So I highly encourage you to start that intuition journal, where if learning to trust your intuition is what's important to you. Now, often we're just shown enough to get to the next level. So when I was told to paint 33 angels in 30 days, they would not tell me anything next until I had actually accomplished that task. And then their next sentence to me after your call for angelic assistance has been heard, the next message was, to be one of the chosen ones, you must choose. And I did choose. I chose to become that paintbrush for the divine, as I spoke about this morning, and continued forward and discovered that I really did have to complete a task before they'd give me the next step. And so when I'd say, paint us, what's the next step? What should I do with all this art? They say, paint us and we will come. They were letting me know there was more art, and I was to just follow instructions. And that was part of my soul vision. So take a look at your life, and at this moment, really think about what things have been trying to awaken you. Now, these messages from the divine don't always come as a feeling or a voice. Sometimes they come as hearing a song that tells you to go downtown, and then you go, oh yeah, that's exactly where I'm going. Or it gives you the answer to something you're thinking about. And so it could be a song. One day I was driving. It was the first time I was booked to do 4 readings at a friend's house. And I had done them for years, but never professionally or paid. So I was nervous. And suddenly a van goes by that says like miracle ears, or it was miracle maids, or something like that. And it was like, oh my God, they're here. I don't have to worry about it. I think it was angel maids, but it was a reminder. So we get these messages. For me, if I see a coin on the ground, that's always my dad giving me a message, because the day I got married, we found a dime on the floor right before he walked me down the aisle. And when I put it in my shoe, he told me to put it in my shoe. And he said to think of him whenever a coin was on the ground. And so that holds huge memories for me. So, but those are the ways Spirit talks to us. Or it could be a nudge, it could be ringing in your ears. It could be another person giving you confirmation of something you'd been thinking about. So often in my readings, something I see someone doing something in the future and I'll tell it to them. And then they'll be so excited because I confirmed something that they didn't even ask me. And that is really important, to get that confirmation that your intuition is accurate or not accurate. So set up some tests for yourself, track it. Your guides have so much information for you about your gifts, what you're here to do, where you're going. And every day is a good day to align with your guides and ask, what steps can I take today to be aligned with my soul mission, to be aligned with that which I came here to do? Well, Hillis is still not here. I'm assuming he's trying to get on. Up, he called again. Did he call again? I guess he did. No, I called him. All right, perfect. He'll come if he comes. He won't if he won't. Now, why did we come? I know that many of you understand what this call is. Many of us have heard what we call the clarion call. And in fact, I have heard the Hallelujah chorus several times. This clarion call is the trumpet call. And this blast that actually will awaken something inside of you that is calling you to step up, to remember, to change your life, to step into a new level, to serve in a new way. It's a call to stop pretending. That within the Starseed teachings, there's a belief that a call went out across the galaxy. Dolores Cannon talks about that also. But a call goes out across the galaxy, and you and I heard the call. They did offer take-home pay, vacation pay when we complete this mission. I'd like to think that that's true, that we get to go home. We get to really take some time to understand what it was. But we were called to be here. Why? Because humanity is coming to that dangerous point and that separation, as we spoke about before, where Hillis is coming. All right. Hillis, get your mic on, and I'll come back to it to finish when Hillis is done. But I'm so happy to see you, Hillis. Where are you? Oh, wait. There you are. Are you in shell shock?
Wait. See, oh my goodness. Wow, Mercury retrograde. And I just literally rebooted can you guys hear me okay?
So, Hillis, you have until about 2:30. You have about 35 minutes.
Can you
Take
guys
your
hear me
time.
okay?
Take your time. I forget where you ended, but pick up where you feel
I
like
don't
you
even
start.
know
We're
where I
happy to
left
see
off
you.
at in that amazing meditation.
Well, I wouldn't start quite with meditation. Let's get
I
us
just
all
have to
happy.
laugh. I mean, I am so hot.
You're so hot?
Yeah, what I would love to do?
No, do you
Yeah,
want
I
me to
am like
leave
burning
right
up.
now?
That's how much energy I was pulling in.
I believe it. I
No,
believe it. I went
stay,
into a
stay,
shock
stay.
myself. I was like, wait,
I
where's
mean, we
Hillis?
can have
What happened?
I know, and the thing is, so I've acquired. Oh, I think there's a delay.
There's a delay. There's definitely a delay. Turn off your picture for a second.
So I'm gonna.
Oh, no, that's good.
Yeah, so take me out and bring me back in.
You mean take you out just to the screen and then put you back in? Okay. Like that?
Yeah, and bring me back in. That should take care of the delay.
Did it take it? Okay. Let's
How's
see.
that?
Say
Yay.
something again. Hillis? No, that did not
Is there still
work.
a delay?
Still a delay. Let's remove you again. Okay, I'm going to talk to my guide, Thaliora. Please help us. We need support. Hi, Hillis.
How's that?
Try it now.
Hello.
Good.
Is there
Okay.
a delay? Okay. It's still my
All right, Hillis. This is not good. You're not kind of all here. It's like when your aura is left behind.
How about now? How about now?
Okay, that's good. Oh my God. Okay, I think that's it. We're going to go back to my presentation. And I'm so sorry, guys. Please bear with us. He's up. Oh, I see him on my camera, but he's not here. All right. And I know how he feels. He's probably not feeling very good about this. Let me just text him. Yeah, okay. I think that I'm just going to reframe for a couple of minutes. So I was talking about these advanced souls that came down to the planet because Earth was in trouble, because we actually got trained to come down here. We weren't sent down here unprotected. And each one of you stepped up and were able to claim coming down here. So understand that you have that energy and that power to be who you think you are. And here is the renown. Hillis, well, I heard him, but okay, here we go. Hi, Hillis. Welcome to the show.
Can you guys, is there a delay? No delay.
Let's see if we can tolerate it. I'm going to take myself out. If it's not working, I'm going to come back.
Is there a delay still?
Keep going.
Okay.
Try speaking a paragraph.
Okay. So you guys, I feel burning up. I'm sweating over here from the energy that I was, and if there's a delay, I strongly apologize for that. And if I know, and I can do my best to answer whatever Starseed questions that you have, because I don't even remember where I ended up in that meditation.
Right. So I want you to completely reboot for a second.
Cut off.
Can you hear me? I want you to reboot for a second. Just take a deep breath in. I'm going to try shutting off your camera, and that way we might be able to hear your presentation. Otherwise, your sound, it's not acceptable, Hillis. So I'll stay in the background. Why don't you try turning off your camera?
Yeah.
Do you know how to do that?
Might be
It's down below. There should be.
Can you guys, if you can just put in the chat, can you hear and see me okay?
Let me hear you guys. What do you think? Can you hear him? I want you to keep going. Talk. Connect with us.
So yeah, I just want to feel your energy, you guys. I mean, the energy of the planet, the energy. That's why I typically don't like to do video.
Why not? This is here
because stuff like this
to,
happens.
Right.
Plus,
So let's do
retrograde, but sometimes I.
Can you hear me, Hillis?
Mess
Hillis?
with the electronics.
I don't think he can even
things
hear
like
me.
that.
Hillis, can you hear me?
So again, my apologies. Of space that is coming in to be of service to you guys. Whether if you were present in the transmission and not, I hope that you guys felt Oh, if I can go off video, let me see.
Yes. See if you can go off video. Oh, wait. But now talk. No, I'm going to put you back for a second. Damn. Oop, sorry. Supposed to never say words like that. Add to stage. Okay, now let's turn off your video while you're on the stage so that people can hear you.
Wait, video off, which I did.
Okay, now talk.
Yeah, video's off.
Now we can hear you better. So give
Can
us.
you guys hear me? Okay.
Yes. So everyone take a deep breath. Let's support Hillis. I think let's not go back into the meditation at this point. Why don't you just give us the essentials? Are you there? Hillis. Where are you? This does happen. Hillis? I heard him breathing. Hillis. Well, this is disappointing, to say the least.
Regardless of how I'm having issues on my end.
Yeah, you are. Hillis, I'm going to have to take you out, love. Okay. I hate to do that. Hillis, I'm here by phone if you want to call me, but at this point, I think that's a little bit too much. It didn't improve with the video off either. We didn't even hear you for parts, and then you couldn't even hear me. So I think that unless you want to like reboot your computer and try again, we're going to just have to gently, and I'm very disappointed. I know people here are disappointed. And actually, Bridget said it was great with the video off, but it wasn't quite great with the video off. I know, Bridget, thank you. Thank you, all of you, for putting up with us. And, Mercury retrograde has been particularly brutal to me this week. And I don't know if I'm contagious. Okay. All right. So now we know that being here on the planet is not a badge of superiority. Are you back, Hillis? No. Okay. So it's not a badge of superiority. It really means that you came here to do work. It came, and more work than most people, because you came here to serve. And just a brief reminder, Dolores Cannon spoke about those 3 waves of volunteers, and they're not rigid, but the first wave, of which I'm a part of, we came here to lay the foundation and kind of clear the air, We came into a very incredibly dense planet in the 50s, 60s, 70s. There was a lot of violence on the planet. That's the emergence of the make love, not war generation. Have peace will last, and free love as well. So it was the volunteers that did come down and completely disrupted society and the traditions and the rules and regulations that were going there. Many of these volunteers had addictions. They could barely cope because we didn't have teachings like this in those days. No one was talking about, oh yeah, I'm a light worker, I'm a starseed. They weren't talking about I see angels or talk to them, maybe a couple little people, but these discussions were not happening in my childhood. I was one of the first ones. I remember discovering astrology and being so enamored with astrology and numerology and beginning to dive in, and then psychic discoveries behind Iron Curtain. So I discovered this off the beaten track, but like many of you, I was considered weird. Okay, I was considered not normal. So we we paved the way, we questioned authority, and we opened the doors for the second wave that carried energy just through their presence. They did not feel as driven may not have become as publicly visible, but they came here to calm people, uplift people, transmit energy, transmit messages. Many of the walk-ins are in that period, and many of them do worry that they're not doing enough, that perhaps they need to have a new assignment. They may not know exactly what they're doing. Some of them are definitely comparing themselves to others, to other teachers. But honestly, each of you wake up at your own time. And your assignment in the beginning is to remember and then learn to hold your field. So I was saying before that I was just looking to see if that was Hillis. Now I can't remember exactly what I was going to say at that time, but this is our time to start pulling up these pieces and starting to bring them back. The third wave is described as arriving with enhanced sensitivity, creativity, intelligence, intuitive knowing. Many of the children being born today are advanced starseeds. They've come in already remembering their past lives. They've come in knowing they have gifts, that knowing about the clairs. Over in China, I was seeing, we have children over in China doing teleportation exercises. And I thought they were doing not only telepathy, but teleportation is what I saw, moving objects with their mind. And bending spoons, well, I learned how to bend spoons last time I was in Sedona. We do these things with our mind. So now, one of the questions I have for you is, do you understand what you came in to do? What is your calling? And I want you to put it in the chat. Did you come in to heal? Did you come in to be a teacher? Did you come in to be a medium, an intuitive, a guide? Did you come in to be an architect or a creator or a builder? Did you come in as a destroyer to upset systems and tear them apart? So if you did you come in as a warrior? So in the chat, put in exactly what you think you might have come in to do. Now, also we talk about soul contracts. So within this larger framework, we also encounter the idea of soul contracts. What is a soul contract? Just like a legal contract that you would sign here on earth. All right. It is an agreement that you make to meet one another, to support one another, to use your gifts, to challenge one another, to awaken one another, which is why it's so exciting when you meet another starseed, right? You get excited because you have someone who understands you, that you can actually talk to, that doesn't think you're crazy or off the wall when you tell them about, talking to this angel the other day, or an extraterrestrial might have come into your room. So people think we're nuts, but we're not. And so having others of our kind is actually very helpful for us. So especially in acting as a catalyst. Not every soul contract is comfortable, by the way. Some people come as allies, some as teachers, some as activators, some as mirrors. Some may create the exact circumstances that trigger us so that we can learn how to handle our emotions, so we can learn how to step into our power and hold that vibrational frequency. And I think I mentioned a little bit that in 2020, the guides actually told me that if I didn't step into my role as Joan of Angels and step into a higher activation, there were plenty of people nipping at my heels who would take over gladly. And that was a reminder to me that I wasn't doing my mission. And remember, if you're not doing your mission, then that thread that we spoke about this morning, or that orchestra, is not complete. And so that ascension process on the planet is not complete. Those are things that are important. So understanding the game, if we agreed to come here, why is it so difficult? Why do so many gifted intuitive aware people spend years doubting themselves, drinking themselves to death, not, being in depression, feeling different, feeling unloved, feeling out of the box? It is really because it takes us to this point in ourself where we have to really dive in and understand who we are. So when your life falls apart and things like addiction and hitting rock bottom are cause for celebration, because the way you've been behaving and running these games that you've been playing, these patterns, have to disintegrate. You have to sort of disintegrate so you can reintegrate. And in many ways, that's what we're experiencing here on the planet now, as it's the end of the old cycle and we're stepping into the new. Also, there's the forces of darkness that come against us. These forces of darkness could come as friends and parents also who seek to control us, or spouses that seek to tell us what to do, that may not have an evil nature, but they may be used by the dark to stop you from moving forward. Ordinarily, your soul contract is probably so powerful that those who are here on a darker timeline would not want you to accomplish your mission. And so if you've had challenging upbringing, challenging past, understand that those lessons were meant to help you get stronger. They were meant to teach you how to intuitively learn how to flow, how to go with what's, and how to be tricky, how to navigate when times are tough, how to use your discernment. So those are times that are important. Hillis is in the back. I'll probably be finishing up, and we'll bring you back on one more time, Hillis, in a little bit, but I might as well finish my presentation. So understanding the forces of distraction and what happens. Fears of rejection, fears of visibility. That's been a big one for me. Leadership, being consistent with leadership, showing up and being seen goes also counter to my desire to hide. And sometimes they really play. So learning how to handle rejection, failure, leadership, fear of success, the belief that we must be perfect before we serve, or the belief that it's too late, I'm too old, or my gifts aren't practical, or someone else is going to get that calling, someone who's better than me. I'm not, this whole I'm not good enough. So understand that not every obstacle is an attack. Obstacles are your wounds that are waiting to be healed. Once you heal them, we can move forward and get on to the next level. Sometimes these are boundaries that you need to establish. Sometimes it's about realigning your direction, aligning your compass so that you're heading true north. And what is the purpose of a compass is so that we don't get lost, because we know even 1 degree in the ocean would take us, thousands of miles off course. So sometimes there's people, places, things, occupations, addictions that take us off course. So at this moment in time, today is a good day to see what has taken me off course and feel into that. We also all feel into it and release it, because as I always like to say, you cannot take a wheelbarrow full of your stuff to heaven. It doesn't work. We have to cut it off. We have to release. So whatever comes up, even in here, anything that I said that says, oh yeah, I have that, write it down in the chats if you want, or write it down on your notes. That's something you need to release. Now, understand that activations and awakenings come at particular times. Sometimes we meet a person who activates us. Years ago, before I was on a spiritual path, I'm trying to remember, this is when I was lost and I didn't know what I was here to do in my 20s. And I met this beautiful woman. Her name was Terry, and she was studying to be an acupuncturist. And so every night I would help her, I'd let her find the points on me. She wasn't needling me, but she was finding the points because she had to go back to the UK to take her test. And she started telling me all about this teacher, John Roger, Movement of Spiritual Inner Awareness. And before you know it, I was having dreams with him. And I did get to meet him. And he was the reason I moved to California, to move into the Movement of Spiritual Inner Awareness, into the house. And I understand that she came to awaken me. I never saw her again, but her role in my life was life-changing. Now, I also believe that these things are arranged for us, that at different times in our life, we are destined to meet the change makers for us, or someone who will help us get on to another timeline, or someone who opened doors for you. I have a good friend, Trisha McCannon, and she used to tell me that she became so renowned because Alan Steinfeld, some of you may know him, actually would open doors for her. He put her on all of these stages, and that's how she built her practice. So there are way showers, there are door openers for us. And these are people who come when we're ready to be heard. Or maybe you get a calling to go to a certain place, to go to Bali or go to Greece or go to Egypt, where so many of your past lives might have been. Could have been a piece of music that wakes you up. Could be standing in front of a picture of an ancient temple, or being at a pyramid like I was and remembering when I had served that temple. And in that temple, there was the Queen's Chamber, which we did some very, very powerful ceremonies there. And one woman that was there, actually, the journey, the walk up there was so intense for her that she passed out and she went white. I thought she was dying, actually, in the Queen's Chamber. And we all gathered around her to hold her hands and her feet and hands on her body and chanting. And we literally brought her back. And she said, on her way out to the galaxy, never, ever land on a spaceship. But we did bring her back. But that was also an activation, an awakening, receiving information. And have you ever noticed that sometimes you receive information just at the exact time you need to have it? And that is also part of this process that we have with the divine. We also have our personal matrix. So much like the fact that there is a matrix out there, we ourselves are a matrix. It's our core beliefs, our core values, our core obligations, our expectations, all the identities that we have identified with: wife, mother, son, husband, worker, doctor, lawyer, Indian chief. All of those titles actually limit your frequency here on the planet. They create boundaries that can hold you tight. So part of this awakening, is to release those roles. I mean, these may be good roles: the responsible parent, the peacemaker, the caretaker, the invisible one, the strong one. But nevertheless, these are identities that still trap you in a certain way. Our mission, our activation point, is when we release whatever that is that's even binding us, and we move forward fearlessly. I call it my chop wood, carry water phase. That's like not having an opinion about what I'm doing. It might be distasteful, it might be lovely, but it's my assignment. And what is our assignment? Is to wake up, start to carry that light within us, turn around, wake up others, share this light, share this vibration, share this energy. And especially waking up light workers and star seeds that are still asleep. Now, if they're still sleeping, they're not a part of, I guess, if they're still sleeping, then that instrument they play for Mother Gaia is not being heard. And so it's absent. And so there's a lowered frequency until we are all present on this planet, raising our frequency. What also happens in our kind of own galaxy is we carry an emotional frequency. And so if we are attached to the older, depressed, worn out, lack of vitality, I might as well be dead side of us, not only do we bring ourselves down, but we are bringing the collective down. We cannot live fully in our soul mission also if we're also in survival. And I think it was Maria had the most beautiful presentation, awakening our abundance and manifestation codes, because awakening to the light, awakening to our gifts and power also demands that we raise our financial vibrations as well. So sometimes we speak about frequency in a way that could be a little bit unrealistic. So we might imagine that spiritual people say should always be joyful. All right. And then we encounter always be joyful, always be kind, always be giving. And then we meet a spiritual teacher who's having a bad day. Okay. And they're not kind. And maybe they're short-tempered. Or maybe they're so involved in their own work that they haven't turned around to give you a smile, which sometimes happens to me when I get so involved. So understand that spiritual people have different shades of white and gray and black. We have all, we have different. I pulled a card for someone the other day that said it could be either this. Oh no, it said this or that are true. This or that are true. They can be true simultaneously. You can be a good person with a good heart, but you could be messy, dirty, and chaotic. This and that are true. One thing actually has nothing to do with the other. You could be very wealthy, but not generous. So, this and that are both true. You could be a giver, but not a receiver. So mastery is not suppressing your emotions. Mastery is understanding, is standing back and taking a peek at what is really going on, distancing yourself. So when I coach my patients, I take them up to the Chai Tea Cafe up in the mountain, Joan of Angels Chai Tea Cafe. And it's right under the top of the mountain, right here. And it's in a cave up there. And I'm serving you chai tea so that we can sit there at the edge and look down at the world below. And that gives us a visual, and it takes our emotions back. So we live in a complex world, guys. I think being emotional about the decisions we need to make and the choices we need to make take away our power. They make us more powerless because they make the decisions and the answers more difficult. So in order to be receptive, in order to be in a calm state so you can actually hear this guidance, it's important to step back so that you can hear yourself think. So the question is whether you let all these, anxiety, fears run you, or you understand that you're the one who's driving this vehicle that you are, and we put them in their proper place. So sovereignty is very important, knowing who you are, learning where you end and others begin, learning where your boundaries are. Your skin is very important. Medical freedom is important. Mental freedom is important. Your intelligence, what you're thinking of, your very state of awareness is yours. And so the quieter you can be, the more you can listen to what your soul contract is, what your responsibilities are, and have more clarity about these next steps. So in my work, I help people integrate this. I have a soul vision mentorship where I work with women who are in their 40s and beyond, who are learning who they are, who are feeling a call but don't know what that is, or who really feel stuck and need support in moving forward to the next level. And I will put a link to that. I offer a complimentary soul vision discovery call. You're welcome to come to it. And that's no charge for the discovery call. And I also have a class coming up next Wednesday called it's for women, becoming the woman that you have always meant to be. And I will put in a link to that as well. You're welcome to sign up. Both of those are complimentary free events. All right, so I'm Joan of Angels. Don't forget me. I love you all. Every time I come on a Portal to Ascension event, I'm just in gratitude for this platform, for this mystery school. And I'm grateful for all of you. So thank you, thank you. Okay, Will Hillis is here in the back room. Let's have him give us a few minutes of his wisdom, if he can. Hi, Willis. Hillis.
Can you guys hear me and see me okay?
Perfectly. Go for it. You have, we're scheduled to go for
Thank
a
you.
little bit
How much?
longer, so keep going. When were we scheduled to end? Why don't you take 30 minutes till 3 o'clock? Okay?
Okay. All right.
More or less. Okay?
I appreciate that. You can stay on
Don't go
camera
longer.
with me. We can have this interaction.
If you want to interact with me, we'll do it. Or you
Yeah,
kick me
I mean, I'm always down. I'm always down for because it's been a while since I've seen you and everything. So why not?
Well, let's see where we go. Okay. So what shall we talk about, Hillis? Give us some insights from your work, and that we'll start decoding.
My work, and actually, and I know what the culprit was for the day. It was this guy. I was working with him. So this is a Syrian Endora crystal. And so I was using this guy in the meditation, and just I don't know if you guys can resonate with this beautiful blue energy, but this is I just can't. This baby. Just imagine the energy that's coming out. You guys could probably feel it. But I hope you guys were still able to connect and feel the energy that I was transmitting, though I was off camera. It was very potent, a frequency, bringing in primordial energy, which is what I've been working with a lot lately. So I've been working a lot with that space.
So that crystal, that Andara crystal, is so powerful that it actually screwed up the technology.
Very good. Well, that, and along with me, that meditation was a channeled transmission of frequency of going back to the primordial source, going back to source energy, going back to your very first incarnation, and which was this pool of light, this body of light. So just imagine going back eons, not millennia, but eons, to your first incarnation, which is this pool of light, making a choice of what it is that you wanted to do, being a fractal space, a fractal of source. And you say, well, what do I do now? I have this freedom, I have the sovereignty to experience myself with myself and all these incarnations, all these variations, and all these universes. What do I do?
Do we always ask the same question, whether we're in the fractal or we're in our body?
Yeah, it's always our choice. We always have sovereignty. So just imagine, your very first incarnation, because it was about maybe, I want to say maybe 2014 is when I had this vision of the best way to explain this is chain link fence or hurricane fence, depending on how you grew up and what region you grew up in. Chain link or hurricane fence where the metal wire is interlocking. So just imagine that each cross section interlock of this chain, there's a pod, and in this pod is a pole of light. That's you. That is you being born in whatever dimension, whatever reality. And the midwives come to retrieve you after you make your choice. And they simply ask you, are you ready? And you respond in whatever galactic frequency, yes. So I'm ready to begin your journey, to begin this journey of really stepping into this new experience. So, I mean, it's really interesting in how years apart from these visions that I've had, that everything is coming together, all these different memories, if you will.
That's really beautiful. Can you tell us what an omni-resonance architect is?
Yes. Yes.
Could you decode that for us?
Yes. It's interesting because I used to call myself a soul mentor and energy nourisher. And that didn't quite fit the work that I was doing for people. And this, I don't want to call it a title because, just put it in layman's terms, this title of who I am came about because I primarily worked with women who've been sexually abused. Okay. That's that. I worked with women mostly who have been sexually abused. Not only that, domestically, MK Ultra. I worked with all kind of people in this space, and so the moment that and I know this is a long answer, but the moment that changed everything for me, which we can get into later, is when I was with the client, and I saw things a little bit differently, saw the blueprint of their life, saw how things were being decided, saw all of this. So I'm like, how I express myself, because we have to have a way to to communicate what we do to other people, and being omni resonance. So for a while, I've always felt this presence and energy of being God, and containing this God energy, containing God source energy, containing and living in that space. And as I harnessed that, I finally stepped into being the all, because that's what omni is. All that exists, all that ever was, all that ever will be. And then finding the resonance, the harmony, the structure, the coherence of these varying frequencies to assist people with, whether if it's current life, past life, moving past linear thought and thinking, and then understanding the foundational space, the blueprint that we all have, and accessing that and clearing out the distortions, clearing out the entanglements, clearing out all that space to design a life that is for them to begin to remember the life that they chose in the interactions that we've had, because every traumatic experience is a catalyst, is a trigger for us to remember who we are. And so being an omni-resonance architect is really understanding the structure, the foundation of one's blueprint, to rebuild it and connect it to the proper frequency that is in resonance with the all that there really is.
Great explanation.
Thank you.
Yeah. It made me cough. Great explanation. Sweet.
Yeah. And so, what I do is not unique. If we all sit in our space and free from distractions, we all can do it. We all have this innate ability to take care of ourselves to some degree, but we've all forgotten how to do it. So there are people like you and everyone else that was on the summit today that has processed the space of remembrance. And so with this space of remembrance, we then can begin to do it for ourselves, because that's how I learned. That's how I started doing stuff for myself. I'm like, oh, this is how this works. Oh, okay, let's try this. Oh, let's try that. So it's like a space of experimentation, It's in that space of how we begin to learn, which is why Earth is a school.
What just happened?
I don't know. Can you? I still see that we're live, so I still see that.
No, we are still live, but it felt like you disappeared for a minute. No, we're still live.
So, and so basically that's what an omni-resonance architect is, and working with primordial energy, the source energy, is what my work has been in the past few months. Is really working and connecting with that space.
Okay, that's great.
Yes, Bridget, Earth is a school. People don't see this is so one of the things that I mentioned, I don't know if you guys caught it when I was beginning the meditation, but you have to remember that over 70 millennia ago, 70,000 years, Earth was in fifth density. Okay, after the Orion Wars and all of that, everyone was seeking places and spaces to go. And so the Syrians came down and created Lemuria. And then from Lemuria came Atlantis and Egypt and so on and so forth. We can get into the history a little bit later. But it was because of this because of the Syrian energy, because Syrians at that time were living in fifth density. And so when they came here, they brought that energy with them. And so then after Osiris died in Egypt, and then you had all of the Romans were coming in to disrupt that energy. And it was because of that disruption that we moved backwards into fourth density all the way back down into third density. And it was that jump that took us up until now in this linear reality of this planet to finally just get to fourth density. We're not even in fifth density yet. Yeah. So there's all of that space, all that energy that we are now beginning to live in the new reality, new function. And so that's what I'm excited about, to allow for us to begin into something new.
Right?
Yeah.
I understand. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I really wish I could go back and recreate that transmission for you guys, because I looked up, I was like, wait. I said, because I looked up and I'm like, it can't be 425. It can't be 425. I've been sitting here for I don't know how long. How's this? And you know what the lesson is in all of this?
What?
Understanding reality, understanding dimensional space-time, because I sat in that space for 20 minutes, 20, almost 30 minutes. Didn't feel like it. But the energy was so potent in that it didn't matter if I was present or not. It was just radiating. And if you would have seen how sweaty I was.
That's so funny. You just were in such a deep state that you weren't aware that you fell out of the program. Right? We watched you disappear.
Yeah, it happens.
What can I say?
Yeah, it happens. And you know what?
That's an avatar for you.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
Very high vibrational energy that you were actually ready to do that. Do you have any other things you'd like to share with us about Lemuria, experiences down there, practical tools people could use?
Well, the thing about Lemuria is that we're finally coming back to that space, that we're finally in, after we clear the way station of fourth density, we can finally enter into fifth density. And we're still a few years off from that collectively. There are certain individuals such as myself and other healers, I'm sure you are as well, Joan, that move between fifth density, fourth density, and higher. So we transverse these fields, through our Merkaba, through our Makana, through these higher frequencies and fields that really help us to do the work that we do. And we are here to be the transmitters for everyone else to help them in their space of transmission. It's like, okay, hey, I'm here to help you, but only if you do it this way. And one of the things that I've learned in this process is there's no one way to do anything. There's no one way to do any one thing. So I love that is there for us to really connect with. So Bridget, I am so happy that you were able to feel the transmission. I hope everyone did, even though I was virtually paused. I energetically moved beyond whatever I was moving beyond.
Well, I think everyone felt it. And so I was in a state of stunned shock. It's like, what? Oh no.
Yeah, just imagine. But if you guys want more of that, you guys can catch me every Thursday on my YouTube channel. I do lives every
What's your
Thursday.
YouTube channel?
It's just my name.
You'll put it in the chat. Okay.
Oh yeah. So let me.
So that everyone has access to it, so you can listen to it. I've put your links in several times. People have been here since 8 a.m. this morning. They've been an amazing audience.
Just following.
Huh?
Yeah, because I do lives every week on there, and I've been sharing my personal story from trauma to treasure. Because actually, I am hosting a virtual event on the Lionsgate portal to help
Oh,
everyone clear their trauma. Yeah.
is that's the 8-8 one? Are you doing it here with Portal to Ascension?
No. I'm doing it on my own. I actually asked. I
Oh,
didn't know
okay.
Neil was doing one. I didn't know Neil was doing one.
Yeah,
That we had a
there's a
conversation. Oh yeah, I'm doing
Lionsgate.
one too. I'm like, oh okay. But yeah, the information for that you can find it on my website. But yeah, I'm doing one to help people clear their trauma, because collectively we have to, because we
Right.
can't collectively move into fifth density if we're not all clear. So I mean, no soul left behind. We all have to be clear. So you guys have to help each other out, so that way we can move into fifth density together.
That is so well said. So when people want to work with you, what kind of work do you do with them?
So I do one-on-one sessions or group sessions. And one-on-one sessions, I usually do anywhere from 5 or more sessions with each individual, only because, depending on how much trauma that you're holding in your space, that I work with you to clear all that out, and then through there we do activations of light body activations, we do soul retrieval, we do DNA activations, we do all these things together. So that way, when it comes time for you to move through certain frequencies or patterns and break patterns and cycles, you are better prepared for the work. Because, one thing that I've learned in my work for doing this for 10 years, doing this work for 10 years, is that everything begins and ends in love. No matter how traumatic, no matter how hurtful, no matter how painful life is, that this is one of the things that I always remember. And we are going through a remembrance, a great remembrance right now, remembering who we are, remembering our soul. And it's the trauma that triggers us. It's the trauma that helps us to remember our presence. So that's why I love what I do, to witness these transformations in people, to be the channel for that space, to have people to know and remember who they truly are.
I had this really big hit a second ago when you were talking, is that when we do that kind of work with people, it also heals a part of us too, in a certain way. For me, it's like I remember.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Every say person I work with that finds their calling, it's just like such a beautiful thing. It's like being a midwife, a doula, or a shaman.
Yeah. Right.
And
so, what I was just, no, definitely. And we get the knowledge and wisdom and upgrades for sure, because we have to be able to have the container for this. We have to be able to honor that space, and honor that space means also honoring ourselves. And for those who are watching right now, I was just given, I don't know when, I may do it tomorrow. For anyone who is watching, I want you guys to email me directly. I'm going to put my email address in the chat. And the purpose of this is that, is that right? Hillis, H-I-L, yep. So for those who are watching, what I am going to do is within the next week, I am going to do my best to recreate that meditation.
Aww.
For those who are watching, email me directly, and once it is completed, I will send it to you as my gift.
Okay, and I see your email list.
Yeah, and this includes you too, Joan. So email me, it's like, hey, I saw you on Portal to Ascension. I want the meditation. And when it's done, I will send you a copy complimentary.
That is so sweet. And that makes up for all of the stress that it was. I'm so glad. Is there anything else you want to share with us, Hills? I love the artwork behind you.
this is from my new friend. Oh my goodness, her work is amazing. You guys just have to contact me about that. But her name is Cy Wind. Oh, her stuff. There's a whole story behind all of this.
It's beautiful artwork. I noticed
Thank you.
everyone's been paying attention to artwork today, so love it.
Yeah, she's amazing. Cy Wind, and her work is so beautiful. But the only thing that yeah, so Susan, if you're looking for the links, you can go. Actually, here I'll just do this one. HILL.
Is that the artist?
No. Susan says she's looking for links. Susan, what links are you looking for? HILL. So that's another link for everything. So
Beautiful.
Ginger, I see that you put your email in. So just email me, Ginger, and I'll make sure that when the meditation is ready, I'll send it to you. That's for anyone who's watching and sees this. But one thing that I've come to know in all my work is everything begins and ends in love. Everything that happens in the middle is just us to remember. Everything is for us to know and understand who we are and what we do. And it's just beautiful in that way to really connect with who we are.
I love it. Anyway, Hillis, thank you so much for persevering, for coming back with your beautiful messages, for continuing the work that you've been doing, for getting out there,
thank you.
and for being on this presentation with me today.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And you guys, like I said, if you need anything, the links are in the chat, especially if you're on YouTube. You can see the chats there. But yet again, my website is hillispew.com. And then just email me again at hillis@hillispew.com to receive the transmission when it's complete. So thank you guys so much. Have an amazing day. Thank you again, John. Thank you, Portal to Ascension. Thank you, Neil.
Thank you so much, Hillis. I'll see you next time. Whew. Okay. That was a lot. Hillis, I'm so glad you were able to get back with us. Thank you. Honestly, everyone really was, a group of people came on just to hear you. I know that. So all is well. So all you star seeds out there, let's just take a deep breath for a minute together before we end the day. It's been a long day. It's been a beautiful day. So many insights and so much activation. Love to see some of your thoughts in the chat if you want to put them in. And it was fun for me to be actually your guide and host this time. I did put in my workshop. It's a free workshop. I'd love it if you showed up and said, "Oh, Joan, I heard you on Portal to Ascension." That always makes me feel good. Or you can book your complimentary session with me. There's no expectation, no charge. We go right up to that cafe and we take a look at what is going on for you and see what particular routes you could take to get to the successful level of transforming for your life. Meanwhile, reminding you that Portal to Ascension has all sorts of upcoming events. I think next Saturday is Vivian Chauvet. I'm hosting her. We do have the 8/8 Lionsgate coming up and an in-person event in Glastonbury, as well as New Living Expo in person. Huge event, unbelievable. We really ask all of our soul family to show up for the in-person events because that's where all that juicy stuff happens. And Zoom is great, StreamYard's great, but the juicy stuff is really, the new trend for the new earth. So I appreciate every single one of you. I thank you so much for being here. Remember to raise your vibration, keep your frequency high. That's what you came here for. And to be one of the chosen ones, you must choose. You must do the steps to activate your frequency, your vibration, so you can take your place on the global Gaia orchestra. That's all for today. Sending you a lot of hugs. Big love. See you next time.